Yeah.
And when you find yourself in that position, you have to be very careful because the enemy will come knocking to your door.
Mm.
And the enemy can start within yourself. If you open your ears to hear everything that people say about you, and you start thinking about it and start making decisions, you're creating enemy within yourself. You know that? Huh?
Not really. Not
Uh-huh.
really.
It's something for you to think about. Because what you think about is what you're going to do. And when you do it, it will be good, and sometimes it will be bad. And whatever we do in this life, you can't please everybody. Huh?
True.
That's where leadership come in. Sometimes we feel that our education is leadership. Mm-mm. There are people who are educated. They got all the degree in the world, but they don't have no sense of they don't have no common sense. They don't have wisdom. They don't know how to apply the knowledge with wisdom. They don't know how to apply the knowledge with common sense. So what happened to your education?
Become irrelevant.
We are not against education though. We want people to be educated. But your education must be of benefit,
Yeah.
not just for you, but for your family, for your community, for your country. Let somebody benefit. Let somebody be helped. Look at where we are coming from. Look at the problem we got behind us. We that in America here, you know how many people are depending on you?
A lot. A lot.
Sometimes, we have to explain to the American people, especially, they say, well, how you call that person your cousin? Is that your mother or your uncle? How you call this person cousin, brother, brother? How many brothers do you have? How
Yeah.
many sisters do you have?
Yeah.
We have
Or
to
why you keep
explain
why you keep sending money to people?
why you keep sending money to this person and to the other person. Especially when you are in a relationship with an American or
Yes.
any other foreigner.
Yeah. I experienced that. My brother-in-law went through that too. A lot. Many times.
Sometimes you have to explain and explain and explain before they can get it. So you see, brother, I was wondering who pissed you off or who got you upset or who have triggered something in the inside of you that you just went blue. I said, the prophetic spirit start to dominate you. You're a good man. You're a good person. Why will you come on the platform, social media, and because somebody trying to, get into your skin to test you, your character, your integrity, educated as you are, it made me think about myself. I had a demon in me that would just make me vex so quick. My brother, where we come from, you got to think about it and be very careful because
Yeah.
if we don't think and pray
Mm.
before we make a decision, you will mess yourself up. I'm talking to you as a witness in America here. There was a demonic spirit in me that even if you say something good to me, I will consider it to be bad.
Mm.
I would get so angry. And sometimes when I do things and the police come and arrest me and go lock me up in a little place there with crime or prison in Liberia or jail in Liberia, you think the jail, the guy is better? They don't get you spring bed. You got to lay on the cold ground. Then when I in, I said, but what caused me to do what I did?
Mm.
Until God delivered me, my brother, when I saw you so angry and you just going off and you were cussing and this and that, I said, oh God, help this brother, redeem me. Ah, you, Randy, you come on the show and you were giving us information. You were, uh, uh, challenging most of the propaganda news that people were bringing against the government, against the president, and all of those things. Now, Randy, over, I don't know, you got up one morning and everything changed. Yes. I said, but wait now, what happened? Maybe your wife didn't give you food to eat, or she cooked something that you enjoy so much until you forgot your responsibility. You know, it started when you were requesting for information from the government. You wanted information. The way you were handling that thing. For me, I'm a security man. I'm not a security man in America here, but I was a trained security man in Liberia. I worked with the Ministry of National Security. Patrick Minicon was my boss.
Okay. All right.
And so when you want information from government have to have certain amount of trust and confidence in you before they can give you information. It's not all government information is public,
Yeah, but
especially.
but but let me hold you there, Ella. As I mentioned, I'm not asking for classified information. This is their policy. All I needed is what news do we have for Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, just basic news to support this program.
Yeah, I
I could get that
understand.
information right now if I got right now and go on the Department of Energy website, the Secretary of State website, the Secretary of Human Health Services. I can go there and take any information from there, basic information that is public privilege. I'm not asking for classified information. I'm not asking for covert information. I think what I had learned here, what this society had taught me how to get information is different from Liberia.
Yeah,
And I not agree with many people who would tell me, say, Liberia is not America. And since I did not grow up in that society to work there, I think part of my decision now is to back off from Liberia now. Because from what you're saying, there's so many things. Where I want you to be, I'm going to pray heavily tonight so that I can start to back off because I am used to getting online, getting information. There is a thing that I got in my bag here from one of the states where I asked for a FOIA request of a document from 2015, no, from 2009 to 2015. They sent it to me. All I requested was what start date, what end date. I didn't have to go to that particular ministry or that department. They sent it to me. So since the Liberian situation is totally different from how I see things here, I think that relationship will be split. Because right now, if you call any ministry right now, even your immigration record right now, you can do a FOIA request from the day you enter the country. That FOIA request will give you all your information. They will send it to you. You can go to public library to ask for any community project. You will see it online. I grew up like many Liberians in the system. So if I'm promoting a policy, like you work for a company, they say you are the manager to implement the policy. They got the entire policy online. You click there, you can get that policy. These are tools that I am used to, my brother. So if I don't see it becoming very boring to implement these things. So I think what I'm learning here is the way that people operate is different from the way I operate. And the way I'm trying to get information, many librarians don't see it that way. And then they will begin to judge me differently. And in order to avoid all of that, is to forget about librarian politics. Like you said, I'm a professional. I can start to go into my consultancy role and leave the politics alone. I think I have to divorce the politics now because many people don't know me as a professional on the Liberian social media. They don't know me professionally. So right now I'm like a politician here. But when I step through that door and pick up the company phone and go to work, I am a separate, different human being starting from tomorrow morning on the conference call, driving to work, getting to work, and coming back. So maybe what I had done so far as my contribution to Liberia, people don't understand how I'm working. I think it's about time to call quit because when I started these things, there were some friends who said, Randy, we didn't know you could do politics like this. We didn't know you could talk like this. So I think we have come to the end of the road. There is something that will bring you to an end of what you started. And I think we have come to this place because honestly speaking, I had done my part in this country to build my career from the bottom to top. I'm paying everything that you are paying here. That includes my student loan. My cars are paid off. I started to do what I'm doing before I got into Liberian politics. But to see people that don't know me and want to castigate me, I'm saying this, that I'm going to reconsider the decision to quit Liberian politics. They may call me a scary man, they may give me names, but I want to be myself. I know you said that sometimes you can be creating something for yourself. Yeah, but I believe that this is who I am. To leave the Liberian people thing alone. Leave it alone. Maybe God is telling me, Randy, leave it alone. I still got profession here. So
listen.
I'm going to think about it to leave it alone. And yes, I'm going to think about it to leave it alone and see what I can do for myself professionally. Yeah, because there's a lot on my plate here.
Yeah, listen, Randy, like I said from the beginning, passion. Everything we do in life, you must have the passion and be passionate about it. You must feel within yourself that passion burning you in the inside and in your heart.
And I do, Elder. If you listen to me, Elder, if you listen to me in one of my recordings during the campaign, I said this thing is not about me. It is about the Liberians who don't have the opportunity to come to this country. If I needed a job when Eddie called me in 2015, I would have left from here to go to Liberia. The only reason I didn't go because they could not give me a package like how in America they'll give you a job package. And I said I cannot go because I don't have this package.
Okay, Randy.
So I see how the things work in our country now.
Randy,
I see the big picture.
Let me just bring up another issue here. You see, like everybody is saying, America is not Liberia. The way things are done in America here, you cannot compare it to Liberia.
Yeah, but I'm trained like that.
Listen. If you train like that, it's a process. It's a process.
And that process will get a pushback, you know that?
Let me tell you something.
From 1847, those who are left from here, they have attempted to implement that process, and today we are you nothing.
Yeah, I want to.
If we're not careful, somebody in your age 50 years from now will be telling another young guy it's a process. So when will we initiate the process to begin to feel something?
Randy, let me tell you something. I left Liberia a long time. The only way of getting information or know what is happening in Liberia is on social media. And one or two people that I know in Liberia, I can talk to them sometime. Liberia is changing. Liberia is changing. I was talking to my brother the other day. I said, you want to be a politician? You better do it now because the next round, the wave that is coming out in Liberia today, what they call tsunami, that is coming out in the realm of politics, it will be all young people.
Yeah, that is coming. That's true.
So if you're 40-year-old now, you better do what you can
You
do
can do now. Yep.
because when you turn 60, you're out.
You out. True.
And the encouragement, the current president is encouraging young people that in every corner of Liberia, especially in Monrovia, they got intellectual group, they're discussing. So we come back. You are not a journalist. You are not trained to be a journalist. Maybe you did journalism, I don't know.
No, no, I'm
Uh,
not. I'm
may,
not.
maybe you were trained to do talk show, I don't know. But for you to take upon yourself to come up here to say, I want to help my people, I want to help my country, I want to help the government, so that the disinformation that people are putting on the propaganda that they carry on against our people, it's not just where they're doing it to, they do it to the people of Liberia. And when you say you want to help to bring clarity to the confusion, and you were doing good. So you have the program there. I don't know that a propo agenda or whatever information you have there. Like when you go to school, when time comes for your exam, sometimes the professor will say, I want you to choose a topic. Go and write about that topic. And you hand it in. They will look at your paper, your idea, and they grade you on that, right?
Correct.
Okay. So as you doing a talk show, you don't have to let every government can say, okay, they can use you. When I was doing security in Liberia, the way you started your talk show and you put yourself neutral, you are able to say you don't know nobody, you're only doing something to help the country. The NSA, the Ministry of National Security can recruit you for you to give them information, not them giving you information. They will use your organization. So if you choose a topic, say, oh, next week we'll be talking about the proper agenda. Or next week we'll be talking about road connectivity. Is the government doing the right thing or not? Okay, you're not talking about the hospitals. Is the government doing the right thing to build hospitals or not?
But that was
Now,
not my approach, though. That was
I'm,
not my
I'm just I'm just making a point. I know
Yeah.
it was not your approach, but if you are doing something to educate the public, you take issue and bring people on your program
My
and
thing I was
and let
doing,
it and let it
so
do the
that we
talking.
stay in the context of what my thing I decided to do was to focus on the government four pillars because I wanted to draw attention to critics who are saying that the government is not doing so well. So with the propo agenda, it would kind of create a focus point of my discussion from every ministry or agency, whatever is being done, I can be able to relate. So when you come on my show, you are going to basically be focused on what every ministry in the government is doing. But in order for me to be able to continue the discussion, press release, maybe some type of project coming out, these things in every state, you go to the municipal website, you go to special project, you see the thing coming out, you can go and visit those things. So that's the approach that I was bringing to this thing. But because in Liberia, they don't have Dex phone anymore there. You don't see no Dex phone to call. They don't have the website to provide these projects. Most of the ministers got their number with them. They don't know you. You don't get the
Randy,
information.
Randy,
So that kind of discouraged me
Randy,
from moving forward.
let me help
And
you.
I decided
Excuse
to
me.
start.
Let me try to help you with the little experience that I have. And you can think about it. If you want to continue this program on the social media, you can go ahead and do it. If you think you need to step back, it's your decision. But when we are talking about this kind of agenda, when we are talking about this kind of development, when we are talking about government, what government is doing, what government is not doing, and you want information, you bring an expert from outside the government on your show who understand those areas, and you ask them some questions to explain what this is all about. Whether it's a good thing for the country, it's a good thing for the government, you are gathering information from outside the government. So when you compare those information, when you are doing your research, when you are analyzing the information, you want to help the government as a consultant, you can call the government attention and say, in the certain area, I have researched, I have spoken to experts
But
in this
but
area.
but to your point there, number one, that approach you taking is a verified approach, but that was not on my agenda to do. To bring people out here to discuss variety of issues. I saw my role as someone who is preaching the message directly from the four pillars on behalf of the government. And the only way I will support this because the government developed this. I don't have a framework that I have put together and want to discuss what the government is doing to see whether it fits into my framework. No, I was using the government blueprint to discuss. And the only way that I could propagate this government stuff is to be able to relate to the people. But what I gather from other people, because I did take a lot of notes from other people, the way things are done in Liberia is totally directly opposite of how things are done in this country when it comes to information dissemination. Information here that's public, free to anyone who has a finger and a phone or a laptop or a computer to go and get it is different in the case of Liberia. What you mentioned is true. If I were having a spread out discussion with things, I would rather bring different people from outside to discuss those different sector performances to look at what the government is doing. That means I'll be constructively looking at the government function. No, but I will coming from the government side, bringing information to the outside. I could still bring experts, but my rule was to be the preacher of the government four pillars. And the only way that I could get those things is to be able to feed into the government. Speaking about communication, there were no need. So I think in short here, I agree with what you're saying. I agree with what you guys are saying, but I'm saying that the way I see things now, I have built a big puzzle now. I can see the whole map. I don't think I fit in here to discuss things with Liberians at this time. Maybe in the next 10 years to come, when young people are in power now, depending on where I will be at that time of my life, I can say, oh yeah, this is exactly what I used to hope for. Because like you said, that tsunami of what I would describe as the new generation of the millennium that will sweep the 60 and above into retirement will bring those new ideas that some are looking for today. So I think it's been a very long journey in the Liberian politics, But I think things have not been working out, and it's different. Right now, if somebody come to my company and needs something, we go to the document control area and say, what do you want? What is the purpose you want the document? If that document is not confidential, if it's not classic document, if it's for public consumption, that document will be released. Same way that when you go to the public area, you know it, you experience it, they will release it. So we don't have the culture back home. I'm free in our light. I can adapt the librarian system so easily because it's hard to be with something that I grew up in. So we do not connecting. That particular organ is not connecting with me. So I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but this is the Randy that is speaking in himself now. Professionally, what I learned here, I'm not going to change what I learned here. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to
Randy,
try to help to change Liberia, not Liberia changing me, because all the years we have looked the other way and things continue to not help us in this direction.
let me
So,
tell you, let me just bring up one point quickly, Randy. You see what happened with President Helen Johnson Sirleaf,
mm,
the woman who organized all the bad things that happen in the country
you can say that again. You can say that again. You're
because
absolutely right.
she made the Liberian people to understand that she has a solution to the problem. Yes, of course, she had a solution to the problem and she had the heart to change Liberia because she know where she came from. She know how things were what put together in the country. She had a clear idea. When she was given the opportunity, you know, she alone could not change Liberia.
But she could have set the tune, though. She could have
No,
set the tune.
listen, she set the tone, but the way she set the tone and the people that she brought around her, their heart were different.
She could have fired them.
Their heart was different.
She could have fired them. Jerry Rodden did it.
Now, okay, wait now. The education we're talking about,
Mm.
people are educated to the point with a pen and paper, and they can deceive you. And one of the main reasons that corruption in Liberia, we cannot fight it and we don't know how to fight it is because there is no evidence.
But you can create the evidence with today technology.
You cannot manufacture evidence. That's what the lawyers are there for, to examine your evidence.
You can create a system to fight the corruption.
Listen, I understand that. When President Helen Johnson Sirleaf term was over and we had the election and President George Manuel Weah won the election, in the process in the transitional process where they should have turned over to the incoming government what the people do in Liberia in all the different ministries and agencies of government. They took the computer off the wall. They broke they broke computers.
So that means Ellen accepted that behavior then.
You
That
cannot
means she
hold her
accepted
responsible for that because she's not everywhere
if she
at
was
once.
setting the tune by firing people,
It will not solve the
it
problem.
would solve the problem.
How can
No,
you, if you listen now, you can fire
yeah.
somebody, but if you want to prosecute them, do you have evidence to prosecute them?
Why one of the you don't have to prosecute them directly for the evidence, but why would you want to take a government property off the wall? There should be regulation, there should be policy in place that when you come to work, whatever you meet at the place of work, you don't take it out. Ellie should have
Liberia,
said,
Liberia have not reached to that standard. They are trying now
and
to reach.
that is why I'm backing off now. So you see, you coming to
You
my point now
cannot
because
back off.
I cannot say that again.
I will beg you not to back off.
Oh no. Because that is one of the dangerous path. Because like you said, not many people, not many people going to take side. You see people in my own circle trying to blackmail me, trying to stab me in the back. I may be an antelope in the midst of coyote and hyena that are going to rip me apart. Because to your point, you're right. These guys, some of them, they are not ready for the change that I'm looking at. Like the JFK scenario you talk about, ask what you can do for your country. That's what I'm trying to do. But the very people that live in other white men country, they are not exercising those same things. And I'm the only one among the few who are not on Facebook that trying
Look,
to do this thing.
let me tell you something again. Let me tell
Yeah.
you something again. Liberia, we have educated people. Liberian, we are very educated and we can write document. We know how to write. Some of us know how to write and we can speak it. Some of us can speak it and we don't know how to write it. Some of us can do both. That when a Liberian man sit down and write you a piece of document, when you finish reading it, you say, oh, this is good. But watch what he's doing behind closed door. We use the pen and paper to bankrupt our own country,
And
to,
I think that one of the reasons why they
to
don't let
destroy,
me to tell the truth.
to
I think
destroy,
that's one of the reasons.
to destroy our country with all the higher education, all the world higher institution that we went to, and we stay in developing country. Western world like America, some of us work in the American government and work in other private sectors. We did our best. Like you are saying, where you work, you control 250 people, you are this and that. But I bet you, Randy, you go to Liberia right now, that your education and experience and all the things, you will leave it right where you are. You go to
No,
Liberia, you will do something different.
no,
You will
no,
do something different.
no, 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 no. I would
Okay,
do something different. I would do something different that would cause them not to like me. That will cause them not to like me. And I'll have to come back.
it's
And
hard.
that's one of the reasons I've been so heavy hearted, not to work in government, but to be a consultant. We
It's hard.
cannot make the mistake. Elder, I will tell you this. I'm going to say this today. If I went to Liberia, things will not change me. I will come back here. Woman, I can do that, Elder. We must change the course of our country. And I think that one of the reasons why I not feel welcome by many people because of how I conduct myself. I'm not going to push back what I have been taught here. You spoke about education. There are some people who have what we describe as intellectual education. They learn the book, they take the degree, put it on their arm, and go home. No, I learned mine, I put it into practice. I'm doing it here, and when I get back, I have both the intellectual and the experiential education. And the experiential is what I will use, I would say 75%, and then the rest of that 25% will be used as the intellectual. So if we cannot get along, I think I'm seeing the writing on the wall. Now, Randy, what you're doing here is just the tip of the iceberg. Like what Berman said, you are getting into a circle that you don't really understand what you're getting into. So I think this conversation here is giving me a lot of things to think about because I think I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. And all the time I've been joking, laughing, thinking that, oh, people are liking what I'm doing. But I know I'm stepping on a lot of people coins that is pissing them off and they're trying to use it. So I mean, I'm
Ran,
sorry for just
Randy,
talking over you like that,
yeah,
but I'm
Randy,
just speaking from the heart. Yes,
brother,
I am.
brother Randy, brother Randy.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
Everything we do in life, in order for us to be successful and to succeed, it requires patience.
Patient with all progress, patient with
Today,
all meaning is
listen,
meaningless.
today, Liberia has been always the place that people will point finger and say, this is a historical country. This is a peaceful country. Yes, Civil War came. We create our own war. We destroy ourselves. And today we are regretting it. But all the other countries around the world, especially for Africa, when it comes to history, they say you go to Liberia. The OAU,
Hello?
listen, let me make my point. The
Yeah.
OAU started in Saniquale. There were
1963.
in
1963.
that 63, that's somewhere around I was born. That's what my father told me.
Now, what
Oh,
history told me. If you go to
yeah,
Google right now, it will tell
yeah.
you.
OAU started at that time. Liberia produced the first woman president. So we got a lot to give.
But we got nothing to measure in
We
terms of our
got
progress.
we got a lot to give.
We got nothing to measure in terms of our
Today,
progress.
today, Liberia have a president who is humble. You know, we talk about people with education. There are people who got education. They are very arrogant. Some
True, because they
people,
don't have because they don't have the code
they
of
are
conduct.
arrogant. They are rude. They are very disrespectful, and so forth. So when people sit down to evaluate their education, sometimes when you are eating and you see them passing by you, you don't even want to call them to come join you.
Because they don't have that characteristic. You see, here we got character reference, we got professional reference, and then we just got the what the tail one. I would just say, yeah,
Listen,
character reference
yeah,
and professional reference.
listen,
They don't have those things. I don't know why they don't want to
listen.
implement them, but I
They
mean,
have it. People
no, they
have
don't.
it. No,
They don't.
listen now. People have them, but they don't have the heart
And
to
that's
give to
and they
people.
are in majority, and they are in
They don't.
majority in our country.
They have it in their head,
And
but
that's
they
why
don't.
our country going nowhere. Because
No, Liberia will go somewhere. Don't
yeah,
say that.
but not in our lifetime.
No,
You see how far you have come today, and Labra is still being discussed on the platform because number one, people who came before you and me did not set any deadline to make our country a better place. So
listen,
I can be the one now in
listen,
this generation that has seen a lot, starting to speak about things, and I got people stabbing me in the back. That
listen,
is scary.
listen.
Yes, I can't push it
Liberia,
anymore.
Liberia is going in a better direction.
It will take the next system.
They, no,
I don't know
listen
what you
now.
watched me before, but yeah, what I always say, Liberia will become better by the year 2065.
Yes.
Not now.
At
2065.
least you got a date. You got a date. That's good.
Yeah, but then,
But it has to start from somewhere. It
and
has
that
to start
and at the
from
starting
somewhere.
point
And
that
the
some are trying
starting
to
is
implement it.
now.
That's the starting point
We have
some
a
are trying to
president.
implement,
We
and you
have a
see how we have been treated.
listen. We have
Government
a
transfer.
president. We have a
Uh-huh.
president who is very humble. He is very respectful.
That's good for the
He
president.
have
And
listen now. He have an understanding of what is happening in the Liberian people's life because he lived that kind of life before. If you go to President Weah and I say you're hungry, you didn't eat, he will know that you are hungry, he will feed you.
and I
And
totally
with
agree.
all the commotion, listen now, with all the commotion and propaganda from all angle against him, allegations, this, that, people demonstrating. The whole of Africa now, African leaders are wondering, say, but how this little man or little boy is managing the people? Nobody is in jail. Nobody to say government have executed and all those things. But the country is going peacefully and in the right direction. I myself, I used to get so mad when people were talking, he not talking, we'll go on the Facebook and say, Mr. President, you need to talk to the Liberian people. You can't let Henry Costa alone be the talking. Henry Costa is not the president of the Republic of Liberia. The opposition, they are not the president of the Republic of Liberia. They have to wait for their turn. The gavel is in your hand. When people are talking negative things, you need to come out and talk too. You know, until he started to do those things and give the people the responsibility that he hired to work with him to do their job, Today, Liberia is still running in a peaceful direction. And other West African countries or African leaders are watching and they are copying from President Weah the way he's hindering his country and the people. Look at what happened in Nigeria. The people
And
say,
I mean,
oh,
everything you say about the president, I got no issue with that. My only thing here, we spoke about communication, we spoke about adapting to a change that we must start now. The people around the president, the people in the orbiter of the president, the people in our orbiter here who are friends with us, their behavior might not make the president to be a gross total successful, because the mindset of these very people will overshadow the president and it will become a very difficult thing to do. So, Era, I will hold you there because I got almost 4 people, but we can have the conversation another time, even off the line. All
your
right.
show.
So,
I appreciate yeah, I appreciate you bringing me on the show, and we had a very good exchange. But I want to admonish you to think seriously, because if you are for me, I expect you to be loyal to me, and I will be loyal to you, and we have confidential matters, confidence in one another. But at this point in time where we are having an election in the country, and you were the one who helping us to get information to clarify things, when I saw you, the way you were talking about the election, talking about the CDC, they're not doing the right thing, they're womanizing, they're drinking, and this, that, and you call yourself a sedition.
then you come to me and ask me, pick on the phone and
No,
say, Randy, what's going on?
but the way you took the matter on social media,
Then that's why
I,
when you call me,
I got confused.
that is
I,
why when you call me, we'll have all the discussion. Because like you
listen,
said, when you started Randy, you are a very nice guy. But what term for what you are? Call me up and then I will explain to you. That's how we solve problem.
but
Reach
Randy,
out.
you should
So
have
you see,
waited.
you see, here's the thing you don't want to accept. Communication is 2 ways. Send Randy is not getting communication. So Randy had no right to do anything. So I understand your culture. I understand the Liberian culture. So that's why I'm going to take myself out of it now. Because if that was in America here, somebody would pick up the phone and say, what's up, Randy? What's going on with you? Can we talk? Oh, yeah, sure, we can talk. Yeah, then we talk. But in the Liberian situation, when I first said, oh, I want to go on strike because I'm not getting what I want, people said it was a threat against the president. Even though I raised my hand, they said it was a threat against the president. They didn't see the question you asked him, what happened? Like how you started the conversation. They didn't see that. So I'm not going to force people. People say I'm not part of the party. I'm not going to join the party. I'm going to remain who I am. Let them take their government and do what they can do with it. I am going to return to private life and I will just sit on the fence to see how you will run your government, how you will run the country. And then maybe the day God said XYZ, then I will accept it. Because every approach that I'm taking is totally different from how things are done in Liberia. I didn't know those things. I didn't know that if you can get information, then you're not in certain circle or you're not going to get certain information. I don't know those things. I am used to asking for a FOIA request. I'm used to getting online, looking at project, getting it for any, whether it's New Jersey, whether it's Pennsylvania, whether it's Iowa. I can go on any website and get this information. In Liberia, it's a different case. I didn't know that. Even on the Whitehall website, I can go on the Whitehall website right now and see what Donald Trump is doing. I can even go on Joe Biden pre-election transitional team and see what they want to do over there. Nobody going to shield the public information that I am also seeking to get. In order for me to defend whatever Joe Biden is doing, there are resources out there that I can use to talk about. It is not in Liberia. We're not willing to accept it. So again, I sincerely apologize to all the Liberian people. I didn't understand your system. I don't know how it works. I'm in the wrong place at the wrong time. I have been wasting my time. So you can have your country. I will have mine over here. We'll still be the same Liberian, but I'm going to start releasing people off my list because I want to have best friends that know me personally rather than people castigating me out there. It's not right for you to tarnish somebody that you don't know nothing about. That's not moving the country forward. That's not moving the country forward. Somebody once said, I posed a threat to the president. Nobody said anything. They came back today again. They trying to destroy me on Facebook. For what? For government job when I'm getting almost over 5 grand every 2 weeks. That's why I can't say I can't waste my time.
Randy,
No,
Randy,
no,
Randy,
no. I'm done. I'm
Randy,
done. I'm done. I'm done.
Randy,
I
listen,
cannot do that. I can't do that.
Randy,
I'm
Randy,
wasting
listen,
my time here every day, taking resources,
Randy,
doing things for myself, and then for
Randy,
people to come and not show you one appreciation. But
Randy,
every negative things that
Randy,
I'm fighting against, there's
Randy,
nobody. I'm alone. I'm alone. I'm
Randy,
alone in the whole
listen,
thing.
listen.
I'm in the
What
wrong.
what you are doing here today, you are not doing it for President George Manuel Weah.
I'm not getting
You
the
are not doing it
support from
for
the
any
people, my brother.
individual. You are doing it for your country.
No appreciation.
You no. You see, that's where we are always being disappointed because we go into things with some unrealistic expectation.
No, it must be there must be an expectation to anything you do. When you plan your goal, there must be a target that you must hit. This just today, I set my 2020 goal for my company in March. Just today, I evaluated what I have done and I presented it to my bosses concerning the fact that COVID played a major role in my success to achieving my goal because there was an expectation of me achieving my goal. If we leave things open, we will expose ourselves.
You are
Either there
talking
are some
about
Liberians
you are
who
talking
are
about
in this
American
country,
system.
okay.
You're talking about
So
the
I
American
cannot change from
system.
this system. I cannot change from this system.
So if you want to take that system to Liberia, it's a process. You
But
see,
then
everything we do in
the
life,
people
in
that
order to be,
here
it's a manner of approach.
the people that are here,
You,
they are not even thinking about that manner of approach. They are preaching their belief system. You know, people believe in worshiping individual. That's why they don't want to build institution. That's
listen,
why they don't want to build institution because they want
listen,
to worship individual. They don't
listen.
want to build institution.
We are talking about
So there will
education.
be some people that will be certified
Listen,
because I'm
let me
leaving Facebook
let
or
me
I'm
make a
leaving
point.
politics and I'm not going to be involved with politics.
Randy,
I will be on Facebook, but I will not be involved with
Randy,
politics.
Randy, we talk about education. Education is a process of learning. People who are educated, regardless of their age, they are always humble to learn from whosoever. They can learn from a little child, they can learn from somebody who is older than them. We learn from one another. You are good in certain areas, I am not. You have knowledge in certain areas, I do not have. I got knowledge in certain areas you don't have. So we work together. We exchange our expertise to make something better to help somebody else.
But
In
you
like, listen,
imagine
in 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 Liberia, our education is competition, senseless competition. If I wrote something and I misspell and you read it, sometimes for you to call me and say, "Oh, Zach, this sentence was not correct. You misspelled something," in a very
okay,
polite
Zach.
way of correcting
Zach,
me. Some
yeah.
people will take it and say, "Oh, Randy said he's an engineer. He can't even spell it one year. He can't even
Yeah.
do this
That,
one year."
that that's why the country is measured like that, because we
So,
measure things
so
on
people
things
are
that
afraid. They are afraid to exchange information. That document that you're talking about, somebody wrote that document. And if you see a problem with the document, you can reach out to that person. Even if you cannot reach out to that person, there's a way to bring that person attention to what they wrote. That's why I suggested you go and call other people who have good knowledge
I
in that
understand, but that was not my
and discuss
approach.
it.
That's not my approach, though. That's not my approach.
But
My
because
approach is
you're calling a man to give you more information,
I am a
and he
salesman.
refusing.
I am a salesman for this thing here. I need
Did,
to talk to the sales director or the sales manager.
were you
I
hired to do that?
thank you. So now, did the president hire people to vote for him when you were pushing a policy?
No, we're not talking about that. This is a
No, I'm just
particular.
asking you the question now. Did the president pay people to vote for him? Or did
No,
he carry a platform over there and people bought it?
he carried a platform.
Okay, so how would the people be convinced that the platform is making sense to them?
Number one, the president presented his vision, and
And who supported the vision? We were out here supporting that
listen.
vision too.
The
I
vision,
campaigned for the vision.
the
I
vision had to be
campaigned for the
written.
vision.
Excuse me. The vision had to be written and be clear,
I
so that
campaigned
so
for
listen
it.
now, listen. For we that read Bible, I don't want to go to Bible, but just to bring it home,
The Bible is good
it
though. The
says
Bible is good because it got a lot
it
of references.
says the Bible says write down the vision, make it plain, make it clear, so that when people see and read it, they will understand the vision. President Weah presented his vision during the election campaign. After he won, he put people together to write the vision, so that we all can put together, bring your idea with their idea, and see what we can exchange or what we can put together to make this vision a broad vision that will
End
last.
of the vision here is you got opposition out there who are striking the vision down. You must have people who will be out here pushing the message. And
Yeah.
for every message, there must be a supporting reason to support that message that comes from every agency. Because by January, he will be going to the national legislature, collecting information from all the different ministries and be able to pass it along. In the presence of the Facebook, where we have the opportunity, is cost-effective opportunity to propagate the agenda of the government. If the information is not to our disposal, we cannot do the job. All right.
So now,
Again,
so if you love the president, if you love your country, and with the experience and education that you have, you can be a private citizen to consult the president on an individual basis.
I
Exclude
don't know how
every,
to do that, man. You know what we
listen.
want to Stormy Black?
No,
That's a very good idea.
you can write a letter, address the letter to the president.
How does it get to the president?
You put it in the mail.
Do they have a mailing address? I don't see it on the website.
Executive Mansion, Monrovia, Liberia. Or you can go to Liberia and hand deliver your message to him.
I can't go to Liberia now. I have to have an
You
invitation
would
to travel to Liberia.
no, you can be a private citizen with good heart of you have done your research and you as a consultant you have found some weaknesses in certain areas in government
So
and this
everything that we do on Facebook here, you want to tell me that the president cannot reach out, or his not the president directly, but his staffer cannot reach out to say, Chief, we seen this guy here. He have been talking about XYZ. We want to engage. You want to tell me they can do that?
no, let me tell you something. That's what the NSA is there for. In the NSA, they should have a department. It's not like before where we
But
used
but
to
but but in
listen
the
now. Let me
US
make my
here, in
point.
the
Let me make
US
my
here,
point. Let me make my point. Like before, we didn't have social media. In order to get information to advise the government, we had to do some things that I don't want to
you
explain.
keep bringing the
To
NSA in my document that had nothing to do with NSA. My document,
no,
if the Minister of Finance shake hands with the European Union and say we're going to carry on this $1 million project, I just need to get that little summary of that report and come on my show and say, guys, the government is doing so well. If that is something difficult for them to do, then I'm sorry I can't work
no,
in that
listen.
country.
You
I'm
see
sorry I
that
can't
you
work.
see that
You know.
information that you're requesting right there is a national security information
Oh, so
because
information like
listen,
info.
listen now,
So the one
listen,
that so
listen,
if the government sign, hold
listen.
on. If the government sign a $1 million agreement, and then front page carry that summary, the government also had that summary. Is that what make it difficult for me to get?
Then if a front page put all that information, the editor of that newspaper, you bring them on your show
No,
and ask them questions.
no.
Let them give.
My show is not a platform where I bring people. I am the one, a proprietor, a single guy discussing the policy of this. You're trying to mix what I want to achieve on my show with having this talk show of inviting people. I don't bring people on my show to discuss things. I told you I'm the salesman for this thing. But you know, one thing I got up for you guys is true. Unless you have connection with the government, you will not get nothing from that government because they will not put on the website for you to get. If you don't have close start. So I understand your point now. I understand your point. I have not been missing it. I thought it was like in the US where I can go online to get information. Liberia is so close. I didn't know that. Thank you very much that I have understood it now.
You
I
made
got
a
to run
point.
because people are
No,
leaving.
no, yeah,
So let's talk online, please.
you made a point about
Please.
the government official not watching your program. They're watching your program.
No,
These
but
these
they
information.
are taking information from me, but they don't want to give me information. They are taking information from me. They don't want to give me information because most of the things that I see them doing is coming from what I am giving to them. So they are cheating me technically. They're taking information, but they don't want to come to me.
Then
That's wrong.
continue doing what you're doing.
No, I'm going to do the American way now. There's nothing free.
It's not you alone. Look at you got Prince Sherry.
I don't know about I don't know what Prince does. I don't know what Prince does for a living. I don't know what Prince does for a living. I don't know what Gilbert. My presentation is very supreme.
You want to get paid for the work you're doing?
If they want to pay me, they got to pay me for my effort. Do you do anything free? If they want to pay me, they can pay me for my work.
Is that what you want?
They can pay me for that.
Is that what you want?
It's not what I want. What I want primarily is the document to do my job. If they think that it is important for them to pay me to say, Randy, you're wasting your time by helping us to sit here. Yeah, it's
you already have the document.
Okay.
You show me the document. You already have the document.
Yes. This document is just a framework. How can I ensure that we're making progress in gender equality? Are there projects that are being signed to promote gender equality? Where are those locations? How do we measure out that we are making progress? How do I convince people out here? How do people get to understand? How do native men, all the common men who listen to me get to understand? You see, Liberian people, we got a long way to go because we are not set where we want to start and where we want to go. This thing I'm asking for, you're taking it to be gold dust. These things are not gold dust. Every company, every government policy, Joe Biden just won. Joe Biden now.
Don't compare Liberia to America, please.
No, I will do that because you know why? We learn from here. If we
you can't even compare your city.
We shouldn't come here. We shouldn't come here.
You can't even compare your city government to Liberian government.
We shouldn't. So what are we here for? What are we here for? Lay your book and go back and forth about everything?
We are here to exchange ideas.
Okay, so why can we take the idea and go back home? Why can we take the idea and go back home?
And people went back home.
So, but the people failed because nobody there to set the tune. You see, today Jerry Rawlings took the bold step to change that country. It's because he knew the hard-headedness of our African brothers. You telling me that from 1847 being the country here, it take a process. It take a process. You were in the national security. Look today how you look. Look how I look today. Still things have not changed, but you're still telling us we should take our time. We should take our time. That's why the country going nowhere. I give up now. I give up. I give up. I can't do any otherwise.
The country,
all right? I give up.
Liberia will only change when Liberians.
Listen, yo. Let me say be a nationalist. Start worrying about payment and recognition. So how can you be a national? I should sit here. All right. I should sit here when somebody comes and forget to know. All right. Forget to know. This is how much Randy makes every 2 weeks right here and telling y'all that, oh, he called and was begging us for mortgage. This guy is telling me that forget about payment, forget about recognition and be a nationalist. Where in the world will you be a nationalist when you're making sacrifices? You got to pay your student loan. You got to pay. So all my degree, I got the expertise that I'm running here. I should forget about recognition. It's just like in America, where the work out look at you and say, my man, forget about slavery, man. That thing was just done back in the days. Let us not have no slavery day. Let us not. You see, That is where the country is destroyed, Elder. Thank you so much. Let me take the other people I beg. All right, guys. All right, guys. That was last year March. No, 2020 March. So what you just watched was 2020 March. Yes, 2020 March. You see, when people come on my show and they don't review their video and they want to come and argue with me, that is why I block them. I've been watching the little people that have been coming in, going out. They're not watching the video. Now, when they meet me in the future discussing things and they want to come back and want to start to ask questions that are very stupid, I want you to understand that I went through all what you saw plus more, so that in the case of Archie Frederick, he has not watched the video. This video was the exit, the last conversation. The pub he's looking at, he's a strong CDC man. He never wanted me to leave, but his approach was wrong. Now, let's play the last video for you guys, and then I will talk a little bit, and then we'll start the real show. All right? So let's go to the real one. This one a little bit long too. Now, there go your guy over there. There go your guy. So let's listen to him. This guy is burning energy and time, and he doesn't know the mindset of these people. Is that how you used to look at me sometimes?
I just wanted to look at you. Randy, you are competent and qualified. They will not accommodate you. They will not build real relationship with you. They will only accommodate. They will only say, "Hey, thank you, Paco, you strong for us." They don't want to open the door because they think you become a threat. Look, when competent people are in leadership, when incompetent people are in leadership, competent people say as a threat to them. They don't like competent people. They will only maybe want to use your skills, but they don't want you to come closer with your skills, because the more closer you come, the more threat you become. These guys will never, even if you want to labor today, they will never even want you to sit with the president, because you know what? Your conversation with the president will open a new book, and that book will serve as a threat to their jobs. It's all about the protection of jobs. Don't waste your time. You're making the best decision. I'm not asking you to give up on your country, but wasting 1 hour discussing defending CDC, I'm telling you, it's a waste of time. It ain't worth your energy. If you get on the ground, I spent 3 months on the ground, you feel bad how I would affect. Look, sometimes I feel guilty that I wasted my time for 12 years, thinking that someone from down our generation will stand up to fight against the unpatriotic behavior that keeping our country backward. But really, I challenge you, the day you go to Liberia, you will feel more better than ever before. It's just the same idea. The only thing different in the faces. Everybody coming to government with one mentality to cheat the country and elevate their life. Get something faster in 6 years. That's all. You see, you see what I mean? You asking for simple things. I say about looking. They want change, but they are not willing to change the attitude that keeps the country back.
I saw that.
So that, you can't want to change, and you want to stay whole far to the behavior that keeping you down. To change, Randy, you have to change the behavior that keeping you down. They are not willing. They are not willing to do that. So I'm just saying, my dad, brother, you got your family, you got your good. Now look, we all want a better Liberia. But support a team that will push the vision that you got. Everyone don't want a government job. Some of you in America, we prepare for retirement. So we take a country that we can go and rest and enjoy our retirement. Liberia will not be the country if we don't fix it. You cannot go back home to retire tomorrow in that kind of country that got nothing. Every sector of the government is messed up, nothing. You can get your own money to be your own home. The government cannot even provide security for the people. Can you retire in that country with no security? You can't do that. When we see some of the things, people are like, oh, he's frustrated because he didn't get a job. It's not about job. When you put your name on something, even if you don't get money or job from it, when nothing succeeds, you can use it in the future to make an argument that we brought this into power. And because it was successful, you can also trust me for position in the future. I will do better because the team I gave birth to did better in the past.
Yeah.
That's why people that are with big man were thinking. But the little guys on the ground, it's all about government job, right? Look at the proposition one they wrote on dual citizenship. Just read it and tell me if it is not anti-dual citizenship. Everything in proposition one is trying to exclude diaspora Liberian. The competent people, qualified people, that also get education to not go back home and tamper with that job. You can't be president. You can't run for any elected position. You can't be deputy minister. You can't be minister. I mean, you can't be minister of property. You can't be head of autonomous agency. You can't be chief justice and associate justice. You
What?
can't be ambassador. Yes, proposition one of the dual citizenship that President Weah is pushing to be passed, to be voted for. We're all providing education to our people. They want for people to go to vote on the referendum in December. When the people in the country don't even majority of our electorate, they don't even understand the word dual citizenship. And you're asking them to go vote. Why are they voting for? Why are they voting for? Nobody, 95% of our poor electorate, they don't even know what you talk about dual citizenship. No time to educate our people to even understand it. They're pushing it to go vote. They're pushing the referendum, asking for you to reduce the tenure of the president from 6 years to 5 years. You got to look at the constitutional implication. President Weah was elected for 6 years. If you reduce the tenure from 6 to 5, you make an argument in 2023. If he's successful, he can say because he did not complete his first term, he got this, the first term in 2023 will be considered his first term. I mean, the second re-election may be considered. I've been speaking to some constitutional scholars, and they tell me, be very careful what you're dancing for. The president was elected for 6 years. If you go to referendum and reduce his term to 6 to 5, it means he did not end his 6-year term. When you go to 2023 and he's successful to win at the ballot box, you can raise an argument that because he did not end his first term, this term automatically becomes his first term. So in sense, he may run for 3 terms. All the things we got to understand a lot of things before we jump. But right now, they're just pushing it. No education provided. You go to my village, how many people there know about dual citizenship? So all this thing, Rennie, I will just tell you, I was with these people for 15 years.
Okay.
The only way you can be that best friend, Rennie, you got to just say amen to everything. Don't get opposing view on things. If you want to enjoy your friendship in the CDC, don't oppose anything the heroes, I mean, the king says. Everything that comes from the king's mouth is a holy goal, it's a holy Bible, except and dance with it. You get opposing view, they leave on the phone, teleconference, they call each other, you can't trust Rennie. That guy is always giving opposing view. He don't want to go along, he don't want to go with the flow. You cannot, every institution will have people that will battle inside, internally, to disagree and fix it. One of the things I struggle with them is Rennie, they want you to come on the social media and defend them in the public when they do wrong. When you go inside to correct them, they still get angry. You're correcting them inside. You see that? You're wrong. You did something wrong, really. I came in the public. I defended you, my brother. I said, Rennie, I did everything to fix your image. We go inside the house. I said, brother Rennie, what you did today was wrong. Don't do it. It's bad for the country, but I fought for you outside. You still get mad that I'm helping you outside, but trying to fix you inside. They don't like it. Look, the whole thing that we brought to the country, sometimes I look at it, I regret, because they would just we were just fighting for change, but we didn't know who will bring the power. President Weah is actually a disappointment. I don't care how people frame this, when people tell me you cry, you get angry for a job, I laugh. My auntie ran the country for 12 years. Really, you think if it was about a job, why should I oppose for 12 years and couldn't go and whine and die in the government? Our lawyers, my uncles, my aunties.
I mean, if the president as your mom, I mean, your aunt, you could get a job.
Thank you. It was a baseline for me to play my cool and go get what I want. But I opposed for 12 years and stood with President Weah. I don't know President Weah. I don't like President Weah. I love my Auntie Ellie, but because I feel that I always like to go for the underdog. I said that I come with the 6th generation. We are attached to poverty. We are vacant of our governance. So coming to leadership will be a different ballgame. Ellie was just someone coming back to pay them and reward her friends. That struggle doing this. That's why I didn't support my auntie in the family meeting in 2005. I looked her in the face when she wanted to announce or bid for the presidency. I told her, I cannot support you because I'm looking for a unifier. The first thing is that if I'm a bloody civil war, you are one of the active participants that supported the bloody civil war. You can't be the one to bring breaches to unify the country. So, auntie, you cannot get my blessing. I will do everything to make sure that you can win. And I was strong on her. She won. I congratulated her. I told her, thank you, you won. But you will not until you can convince me. But I know you're not convincing me because what I see in your eyes, I see revenge. And what I see in your eyes, I see your reward to come and reward your friends that stood with you in the past. Those friends, their family, their children that stood with you, you help them. Those who you have, you will go after them. You can't be the one to live as the owner. It's not because of job. I will keep my motion. But now I got a lot of property in my bro. I got uncles and aunties that were in ministerial position. But when you say these things, some people don't understand it. Really, they think it's about, oh, he didn't get a job. No. We didn't fight Eddie for 12 years to come and repeat the same thing Eddie and our group did. Only when you talk, you say Eddie times are happy. What is the change? So my people will call you and try to talk to you. Don't worry. They will soon start saying,
no, Vanny. I mean, to be honest with you, Vanny.
Don't be surprised. They will soon start saying you want a job. They deny you the job. Are you angry? Just get ready for that.
I mean, I'm used to that now, Vanny. I'm used to that. Even though I try to show them my what I make in America. Let me show you to them what you hear. All right.
Yeah.
So this is how much I get every 2 weeks. All right. Right here. Let me show you to you guys it. Right here. It's non-negotiable. There.
Thank you.
Every 2 weeks. This is what I showed to Costa when the early government called me and Costa said no. Costa got a copy of this thing that I showed to him when Eddie called me in 2016. And he said, no, Randy, don't go. So let him go and take it. But I'm used to that. Like this year, I really wanted to see the best of this country. But Vanny, what you just said is troubling to me. If I ever knew, like they say, do your background check, maybe I would have spoken to other people. And I would have seen the difference. And because I remember I used to see you in your car lunchtime back in the days. If you remember, you used to sit in your car and do your broadcast. I remember that vividly. When you came by, I mean, I had that shot for. I probably should have reached out to you and say, "Hey, Brother Vanny, what's going on?" And but I totally black myself.
The moment people are running, the moment you even visit the ground and accept it for even 2 weeks, you get terrible inside. I mean, the same conversation from the past 12 years under LA is that the same conversation. No one thinking about the country. Everyone into it for themselves. Everyone hustling. The government is just ruling with a bunch of hustlers who looking for what they can lay hands on to build their own horses and get elevate their lives at all. People don't care about the country, really. Let me tell you, let me be very honest. I told President we are at the beginning of the formation of the government that to fix the country, the government should serve as a sacrificial lamb. You should declare 6 years of national sacrifice, meaning that you should tell everyone government, this is not a government honey and milk. If you want to come into the government to help the country, you have to be willing to make sacrifices. This is not a government you're going to make $15,000, $10,000 in. We're going to financially discipline ourselves so that the budget can reflect the interests of the country. So that in the next 6 years, we can use our revenue to make significant impact in terms of creating an environment that will try to invest into our country. Look, really, Liberians don't have billionaires and trillionaires. To boom our economy, we need foreigners to come in with their money. You don't have Liberians who are billionaires and trillionaires who invest in the economy. You need strangers to come in. You must have to first create that environment that will attract those strangers to bring in that investment. So to focus on that, you must introduce a budget that reflects the interests of the country, and then run a small, effective government that will create a strong environment for a private sector. But again, what they did, they started to blow the government. Everybody started bringing that gift in their offering, their sister, their family, and they created a bigger government. Big government leads to big spending. Big spending leads to big consumption of the budget. When the government is the bigger consumer of the national budget and nothing is left for development, development can happen through miracle. The budget is the reflection of what will happen in the fiscal year. Anything that will happen in the fiscal year is reflected in the budget. So when there's no we talk so many things, it's just frustrating. They just everything here and talk, it just be bluff.
All I would just do, Prince, I mean, let me say Prince, all I would do, Vanny, I took everybody's advice. I just think I would just return back to my life I used to live in America, stay out of Liberian politics. Because, you know, when we all came here, we came here with the hope that one day the opportunity will be given to us to go and help our government. But, I mean, what I received today from some of the very people that we had conversation in the back end to see what they did today, Vanny, it really surprised me because I don't believe in starving people in the back. That's not my style. And you know, I believe if I have an issue with you, Vanny, I will talk to you. So it really made me scary, number one. Number two, it gave me that bitter taste about our country and our people, especially the political culture. So I'm just going to detach myself from most of the group on Facebook, and you know, maybe stay with a few people that I know, because nowadays if I want to connect with people now, Vanny, I want you to be somebody that I know personally that I can call, we talk, not just Facebook friends. That's the new step I want to take, you know. But I mean, I'm getting to see some of the frustration things that you say here. These are things that I was not really aware of. And you know that people would see you talking for them and they don't care for you. Somebody
No,
gave me that hint. And you know, somebody gave
they
me
don't
that hint
care.
that, oh, did they call you? Did they do this? And I didn't know that. And I was like playing, pretend like, oh, yeah. So maybe I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, but I didn't know. And you know, I didn't know that.
And you are doing it, Brandon, you are doing it out of your own head. You want to help. This is a
Exactly.
government
Yeah.
support. A responsible politician cannot give birth to our government. They must
Yeah.
help the government to succeed. Election is just an event. The government is a process. So just because you supported the person to win, that's not all. You got to not stay with him, guide him on how to succeed. That was more looking at. But again, as I told you at the beginning of the statement, Rennie, the guys on the ground hate competent people. I using the word hate. The guys on the ground hate competent people, especially when I need a tax on you that you're from America. Just forget it. You got no space among them. If for God, if by grace of God, some kind of way through the system, you crack and enter the system, you will start to feel the differences when you in among them. These guys don't like competent people. They hate competition. I'm telling you today, you can blow the trumpet for CDC government. Do not try to attempt to go around. The guys will kick you outside because look, they only like weak-minded people, meaning they like people that they can control. If you can't control you, you can't be one of their friends. That's a simple thing behind the whole thing. Look, it's a whole kind of game that you either dance with the music, and the head of the game don't want smart people because smart people will come with opposing idea. They want people who will just say yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, go with the flow. So
I'm going through what we describe in the corporate world and onboarding. The old word for it is orientation. That is what I think I'm getting from you here today. I'm being orientated into how things work in Liberia. That's how I see what you're telling me today, right now.
We'll talk more on it. Look, Randy, you will feel frustrated that even if you get to Liberia, if you could get there one day in the future and hoping you want to work, my brother, that's why sometimes you get frustrated and say, well, people come here and get all the education and experience and go back and they mess up. Why? My brother, the system are built there. You either join the system, run away from the system, or be killed in the system. But you can't change it. To change it, you need many people staying all together.
To be honest with you, Bonnie, to be honest with you,
how good guy that really left America and went to Liberia and got corrupt and joined the system. Look,
yeah,
it's
that's
not
what I was
easy.
telling you. I can't do that. I can't do
that. You can't do it.
And
all right, guys. Let me on the other side, guys. Let me on the other side. Getting ready.